Adaptations can be amazing when done right. Take The Shawshank Redemption, for example. It's still considered one of the best movies of all time by so many people around the world. Last year gave us plenty of books turned into movies and TV shows. Dune Part 2 wowed audiences with Denis Villeneuve's incredible vision, while Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us hit the screens at the opposite end of the spectrum. Over on Netflix, we got The Three-Body Problem making waves in the TV world. So, what's in store for 2025? Sit back and get ready as we dive into the most exciting book-to-screen adaptations coming your way this year. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Mickey 17, Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton. Let's start off the list with one of the most promising ventures of the year. Based on the book Mickey 7 by Edward Ashton, we can expect a treat for sci-fi lovers, as it will be directed by the legendary director Bong Joon-ho, the man behind Okja and Snowpiercer. The film will be set in the far future, where we have expendables, employees chosen for dangerous missions. Mickey Barnes, the protagonist, wants to get off the Earth and signs up as one. Expendables are disposable. They are regenerated into a new body with most of their memories intact when the last one dies. The twist in the tale comes when one of his iterations survives the deadly mission to colonize the icy planet, Niflheim. He comes back to find the next iteration, Mickey 18, ready to take his place. What follows is an existential, identity crisis exploration of life when they go head-to-head against each other, with an impressive cast of Robert Pattinson as Mickey Barnes, along with Naomi Ackie, Mark Ruffalo, and Stephen Yeun. This could be a real joyride. The film is set to premiere at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival and later will be released in theaters. Warner Brothers will be releasing it on February 28th in South Korea, and the US release is set for March 7th. Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy by Helen Fielding. The fourth installment in the Bridget Jones series, Mad About the Boy, is based on the book of the same name by Helen Fielding. This romantic comedy will be a sequel to the 2016 film Bridget Jones' Baby and will be directed by Michael Morris, who is known primarily for his work in TV series such as Brothers and Sisters, and the film To Leslie. The film will follow Bridget's life in her 50s. Her beloved Mark Darcy is no more. A widowed single mother tackles the new world of dating apps and social media and flirts with men half her age. She looks for love again after 4 years of grieving her husband. The film showcases her journey as she navigates this new landscape and is expected to have the signature charm and humor of Bridget Jones. Renee Zellweger will be back in Bridget's shoes, along with the familiar faces of Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson. The film is set to release a day before Valentine's Day. It will be available on Peacock in the United States on February 13, 2025, and in theaters worldwide on the 14th. Animal Farm by George Orwell. Andy Serkis will be directing this animated film, which will be a third adaptation, adding to the list of the 1954 animated film and the live-action version from 1999. Given Andy's impressive track record in motion capture work in films like The Lord of the Rings and Planet of the Apes trilogy, we can only wait to see what he brings to the film as a director. For the uninitiated, Animal Farm is the story of a group of farm animals who revolt against their master to seek freedom and equality. When the pigs take command, this utopia of equality and fairness is soon dismantled as the leaders are seduced by their hunger for power, a critical comment on communism. Animal Farm was written by George Orwell in 1945 and is a classic that has stood the test of time. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. This quote stands at the center of the story, revealing the hypocrisy of governments and those in power. The film is being produced as a joint venture between Anaventure and Circus's own The Imaginarium Studios. Although the idea for this adaptation started in 2011, it went through some troubles and finally started production in 2022. So far, Kieran Culkin, Kathleen Turner, and Circus himself are expected to be heard in the film, which releases on July 11th. I Know What You Did Last Summer by Lois Duncan. Get ready for this cult classic to grace your screens again. The Lois Duncan novel will be coming as a slasher film in 2025. It will be the fourth film in the franchise and is expected to be a straight sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer from 1998. The film is directed by Jennifer Caton Robinson, who co-wrote the screenplay for Sam Lansky. Although the main plot points are well known to the public, this new adaptation is expected to be darker and more intense, delivering deeper into the psychological themes of guilt, betrayal, and suspense. Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. will be reprising their roles from the original film, along with actors such as Madeline Klein and Sarah Pidgeon. The production is being handled by Columbia Pictures and Original Film, while the distribution is under the control of Sony Pictures Releasing. The film is scheduled to be released in the United States on July 18, 2025. The Running Man by Stephen King. Stephen King can't stay away from any list like this. The 1982 book of the same name, written by him under the pseudonym Richard Bachman, is getting a fresh remake after the first adaptation in 1987. What makes this movie more exciting is Edgar Wright, who is directing and co-writing it. Wright has developed a cult following for his work in the Cornetto trilogy and films like Scott Pilgrim. It would be interesting to see how he blends his fast-cutting, camera-swerving style with a dystopian thriller. The story follows Ben Richards in a dystopian future where reality shows have gone wild. Economic collapse and inequality forces Ben to participate in a game show to win a huge sum of money to treat his sick daughter. The name of the show is The Running Man, and the aim is to avoid police and specially trained trackers for a month and not get caught. The cruel trick? The whole world is looking for him so they can turn him in and win a reward. The film will have Glenn Powell, Michael Cera, and Josh Brolin among the star cast. The film is scheduled to be released later in the year on November 7th and will be distributed by Paramount Pictures. Wicked for Good. Wicked by Gregory Maguire. The success of Wicked last year is expected to continue in the second part, called Wicked for Good. The film is loosely based on Wicked, The Life and Times of the Wicked Witch of the West, a 1995 novel by Gregory Maguire in the Oz canon that was built over the years. It is going to be a musical fantasy feature, which is an adaptation of the stage musical written by Stephen Schwartz and Holtzman. It will be directed by John M. Chu, who also directed the first part. The tale is set in the land of Oz, centered around the time of the arrival of Dorothy Gale from Kansas. It will continue the story of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda the Good, and will test the strength of their bond of friendship as they take on their respective roles and how that affects the land of Oz forever. The two-part decision, according to the filmmakers, gave them space to delve deeper into the characters' backstories and motivations, and subsequently, their relationships. The cast is full of heavyweights, including Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who were applauded for their performances and vocal talents in the first part, along with stars such as Michelle Yeoh and the whimsical Jeff Goldblum. The film was mainly shot in England and will be distributed by Universal Pictures. It is scheduled to be released in the United States on November 21st. The Bride Frankenstein inspired. 2025 will see two films inspired by Frankenstein's world, the first of which is The Bride. It is a monster film written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. It is based on combining elements from multiple sources, including Bride Frankenstein, the 1935 film by James Whale, and the 1818 classic Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or the modern Prometheus. The film's story is still under wraps, but we do know that it will be set in 1930 Chicago and will revolve around a murdered woman named Buckley, who is then used to construct the Bride of Frankenstein's monster. Christian Bale, Penelope Cruz, Jessie Buckley, and Jake Gyllenhaal will be starring in the film. The film will hit the theaters on September 26, 2025, and will be distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. The Hunting Wives by May Cobb. We will also see a TV series from the Starz Network in the drama-thriller genre. The Hunting Wives is based on the novel of the same name, written by May Cobb. The writer is also the executive producer of the show, along with Rebecca Cutter and Erwin Staub. So far, it looks like it will be a miniseries staying close to the storyline of the book itself. The lead protagonist, Sophie O'Neill, is a successful woman living in a big city, but decides to leave all of it, attracted by the quaint, quiet life in a small town. She moves to a town in Texas along with her husband and young son in the hopes of living that dream. But soon, she realizes the reality is vastly different. The excessive quiet starts bothering and boredom kicks in. Enter Margot, the socialite who is also a part of a secret society called the Hunting Wives. What starts as a mildly adventurous chain of late-night parties and target practice turns into a nightmare for Sophie when she finds herself caught in the clutches of a murder. Sophie will be played by Brittany Snow, while Malin Ackerman will be portraying Margot Banks. The series has been produced by 3 Arts Entertainment and Lionsgate Television. There is no exact date as of now, but we expect it to start airing in early 2025. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, adapted by Guillermo del Toro. The other Frankenstein adaptation of the year, and perhaps the more anticipated, will be coming from none other than Guillermo del Toro, known for his amazing creatures and fantastical films such as Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, and The Shape of Water. He has mentioned that Frankenstein is his favorite novel, and it has been a lifelong dream of his to make a film on Mary Shelley's book. The movie is expected to stay close to the source. Given Del Toro's love for the book, he has been working for more than a decade to bring this to life. He explained that Frankenstein was the book that gave birth to his love for monsters and what makes them so. The film will have notable faces, including Jacob Elordi, Oscar Isaac, Mia Goth, and the amazing Christoph Waltz. The movie was greenlit by Netflix and started filming on February 12, 2024 in Edinburgh. Principal photography finished in September of last year and has no release date. Keep your eyes peeled out for any announcement from Netflix. Conclusion. Well, there you have it. All the adaptations you will be seeing this year. We expect this list to get longer as the year passes by, but so far, it looks impressive and definitely has great potential candidates to be a big hit. What are you most excited about? Is there any other film or series that you know of coming out this year? Let your fellow fans know in the comments below, and we will see you in the next video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.